Hi friends, Wagon here. I am here with my 3T Explorer Ultra after Badlands, and as you can tell, it's quite messy. Very dirty. It's seen some things. I wanted to go over some of the things I definitely use and some of the things I didn't use, and basically just like what's on my bike still. So to start out with, I've got my Apidura bags here. I've got a feed bag over here that I had, I don't know, maybe like 10 gels and some remaining gummies. I did not eat all of these. I started with these and I finished with these. They're quite delicious. Still good though. I'll save these for later. I also put my sunglasses in there after a while. Kind of got tired of wearing them. And this time, because it was raining, I carried, let me just finish chewing. Okay. I carried these Kogel glasses, and because the first day it rained, I actually carried a pair of clear lenses, which was huge for me because I wear contacts, and wearing the clear lenses meant I could wear them for like 24 hours through the rain and then the night. So glasses, and then after a while, when I got tired of wearing them, I had room in this feed bag over here. On the other side of the feed bag, oh God, this is disgusting. Oh, all of these nasty gel wrappers. I had a lot of gels. Yeah. That was only from like the last 6 hours, maybe. I needed gels to get me through the race at the end. Okay, so that's my feed bag, very helpful. Let's see, I've got my helmet here. This is the Phoenix 65 HMR. It's wonderful. Comes with a battery in here, and I can actually put the battery in and out of my helmet while I'm riding. So I just loosen it while I'm literally on the bike, saves time, and during the day I take the battery out because it does weigh a little bit, and this weight on your head after a while, like it can irritate your neck. So I take the battery out during the day, and it usually lasts me most of the night. Occasionally though, I do have to charge it. This time I brought enough batteries to not charge, and unfortunately one of the batteries that was like a disposable battery that I brought to use in here, it was more used than I thought it was, which is a total oopsies. So at the end of the race, like 4 hours before, it was dark, and I realized that I was going to be out of battery because it does this thing where it's bright and then it gets a little bit darker. I actually took this external battery from OtterBox that I have, and this cord, and I literally plugged in this here to the battery, and then it was just like hanging from my light, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, it's gonna fall off. So I took a hair tie and I ride with a braid, and I literally I took the battery and I wrapped my hair tie around the battery and my braid, and it was just literally sitting like this for like 3 hours so that my light would charge. And every once in a while the battery on the cord would like swing and hit me in the face. It was a whole thing, but it got me to the finish. So I carry this external battery. I carry another one. Let's see. This is my top tube pack. I've got that battery. This one, this is an Nightcore. This one is like ultra light. It's called the NB 10,000. It has both USB and USB-C, and I carry 2 cords that work for my Wahoo that I use in case one of the cords goes bad. And then I also carry a cord for my iPhone. Cannot wait till the iPhone comes out with the USB-C plug. Then I only need 1 plug when I'm racing, so that's great. So those are those things. Other spare batteries in my top tube pack. I have another light battery here, and actually, just in case, I'm carrying 3 extra ETAP batteries because your race is over if your ETAP battery dies. Like, I'm not going to carry the charger with me. It's very bulky and kind of annoying, so I carry 3 extra batteries. I just needed to change it once, and I put this stuff in here. I know a lot of people put food in their top tube pack, and I don't really like that. So for me, I've got electronics and like assorted other emergency items This I didn't actually end up using, but the top one is CBD and the bottom one is caffeine pills. This I've carried for many, many miles while racing and often don't need it, but it's there if I need it. Other things, was just in my bag, the Badlands Finisher Medal 2023. A gross gel that I'm going to throw away. A bag. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Some Tums. When I crashed my bike, and when I crashed, everything in this popped out. And I had to go and like pick everything up. And all of the Tums that were in a little baggie were just everywhere in the mud. But I was like, I might need these. So I picked them up individually from the mud. What's Tum? Okay, for those who don't know, Chris Hall right here is filming this video for me. Thank you for asking the question. A Tums is an antacid. It basically just settles your upset stomach or if you have heartburn or things like that. So for me, I use these when I feel sick. And I was still really early on in the race when I crashed, and I was like, I might feel sick. So I'm going to pick up these individually disgustingly smashed Tums from the ground in case I need them. Okay, so that's those two bags. Let's see. In here, I don't know, assorted random zip tie that I have a 1.5 liter bladder. This is empty. I sucked it dry. Another gel, which I'm gonna never eat again. Another one. This is ibuprofen because you never know when you might need some. And this time I did. I really needed it because I didn't realize, but on the bottom of my left shoe, there was such bad mud that like basically cemented around my cleat that it was a whole circle around, and I couldn't, when I put my foot in, it clipped, but my foot wouldn't float like it's supposed to when you're riding. So yeah, my knee started really hurting. When I realized it, I put water on it and I cleaned it, but it still had a lot of pain. So I used the ibuprofen for that about halfway through the race a couple times. Also, by the way, this is a shim on the bottom of my foot because my left foot is shorter than my right foot. So these are my shoes here, and this is vomit from when I threw up like 30K from the finish on the climb. These shoes, they've seen better days. The other items in here include, I carry some protein with me. This one is Tailwind chocolate. I use one of them, but on the second, I usually use them at night. But on the second night, I was like, I don't have time to drink this, and it wasn't really gonna make that much of a difference. Okay, this is like really random assorted items. Jingle jangle. CO2, it's got a little sleeve on it because it jingle jingles.
I don't think it gets pretty cold.
Oh, that too. I need to keep it warm. My muck off tool, it's got everything. Chain, breaker, all of the other things. I think you can take pedals off also with this. The Schwalbe tire levers that have electrical tape around them if I need it. This Euro USB plug, in case I need that, you never know. I actually have an air tag in here, so in case somebody steals my bike while I'm at Burger King going to the bathroom. Toothpaste, I used this and also this toothbrush, which, yeah, disgusting. This has seen better days. And then I have this tool. It's got assorted things on it. You know, if you need to take off a toenail, you have it. Okay, so that's this funny bag of whatever. Also hydrocortisone cream, which I had to use a lot because I was very swollen in my saddle area and a lot of chafing, very painful. The rain, the wet chamois, just everything. It was rough. Use this a lot. Okay, I'm not going to go through like everything in this bag because I've done it a million times before, but I have extra brake pads, plugs. I've got a spare chain, a derailleur hanger, a CO2 head. Actually, this is a seat post wedge for my saddle seat post, and batteries for the shifters. Ooh, I think that's it. Some patches, a bunch of like valves and stems and cores, and not stems, but valves and cores. Okay. This is like the emergency bag that has also seen better days. The like coating is coming off on it. When this dies, I will be very sad. Okay, those are those bags. This bag. This is my saddle bag. I usually put like heavier stuff, like all of the extra gels. I only used half in this bag, and then I put other half in here. as well as I put a bunch of croissants and that protein and also drink mix that I didn't end up drinking. I carried this Tailwind drink mix that when I took a sip of it, it made my stomach upset and I just threw it all away. I ended up drinking Aquarius, which is like, I don't know, Gatorade in Europe, basically. It's quite delicious. All right, saddle pack. These are disgusting. These are the chamois, the bibs that I started out with, and they're gonna go back in this bag. I put them in this bag during the race so they do not contaminate the other items in this bag. Oh, I have a taillight on here. So this one lasted the whole race. I also have another taillight on my seat stay. What else do I have in here? Knee warmers. I did not use knee warmers the entire race. These stayed in my bag the whole time. So did the arm warmers. Didn't need them. Better safe than sorry. Down jacket. Did not use this. Not super heavy though. But last year I did use it, so that's why I brought it. But this year I was racing so hard, I was hot. I didn't need it. And then a spare tube. And then at some point somewhere in here there was chain lube, but I used it all. On the other side of this bag, I have Band-Aids. These are wipes. I've got contacts. There's something else in here. Oh, eye drops. Yeah, these eye drops are very wonderful. Didn't need them, but they were there. And so that's what's everything on the bike. And then I've got 3 bottles. On the other side over here, I have a pump, which I ended up having to use twice because I burped my tire. But a quick funny story about this. This guy named Dimitri that I met at Across Andes took like 10 or 15 different pumps and that would go on your bike and tried to pump up a tire. And he basically learned from this experiment how many active pumps you needed to do to pump up a tire. And this one was the least amount of pumps for the most amount of PSI. So I bought this pump and I needed to use it. I used it twice because I burnt my tire. It's really disgusting. I really need to wash my bike before I go home. By the way, this is the Lezyne road drive pump. Oops. I try that again. By the way, this is the Lezyne road drive pump. It has a lot of extension. Lastly, Wahoo, Element, Roam, version 2, navigation, all the works. I have the hydro pack, or the hydro, that thing is here. What is that called? Your hydration straw. Yeah, it's here. I just tucked it under my brake hose. And then the last thing, I ended up carrying this Musette bag from Apidura, which I use pretty often. And in here right now, I have what I had in my pockets and some of the things I had on my body. So I was wearing these long finger gloves. I always wear these. These are from Velocio. I had a rain jacket, which I only wore one time, which was climbing up to the highest point. This was maybe like something I wore for 2 hours, but I carried it, which was important. I used a hair tie to keep it like kind of... I wore this vest underneath the rain jacket because I was cold, but then I was very sweaty, so I don't know. It's like a balance of trying to figure that out. This is the Velocio wind vest. I love it. This is not Mentos, as you might think. It's actually salt pills. It's crazy. I only used half the pills in here, and I was expecting to use all of them. It wasn't as hot, only hot on the second day. So that's what I used for salt. And then my gels have electrolytes in them, so that's helpful. The weather was much colder this year than it was last year. At least on the first day it was cooler. So if you were only racing for 2 days, one day was cool. But if you're racing for multiple days, I still think you needed basically the same amount of salt because after the first day, it got hot and it was warm every day and the sun was beating on you. So yeah, I would no matter what the weather potential is, always bring salt because you're still sweating even if it's not hot. And even when I'm racing and it's not hot, I still take the salt just in case. But yeah, I think probably a lot of people undersalted for this race, but I guess it depends on what you're eating too. Like for me, I'm not eating enough salty things, so I have to take the salt pills. It's crazy. People don't think that they need salt, and it's like, no, you are literally losing salt anytime you exercise. So like if you're exercising for more than 2 hours, you should probably be using salt, whether that's like a salty food, some sort of drink that had salt in it, or yeah, gels that have salt in it, or for me, I take the salt pills when I'm racing because, or if I'm doing like a really long ride, because that way it's just easy. You just pop the pill and you're done. But yeah, people don't really realize, but you need salt when you ride or race. In my pockets, I have this sunscreen chapstick. I only use it a couple times. I should use it more. My lips are very chapped. AirPods. I use this a lot. These are getting really old though, so only one of them is working right now. I got to figure out why. So I had to stop listening to music. I'd like listen for 45 minutes or an hour, and then it would die. And then I couldn't use the left one. And that was sad. This is a pee rag. So when I peed, I use this. I'm gonna throw it away, but I use this basically to get the acid off and basically just keep really clean down there. As a woman, that's super important, and obviously as anybody it is. So this is the Musette bag. This is my setup for Badlands. I do have a Q&A coming out as well, so look forward to that. And we do have an exciting video that's actually about the race that's a little bit more cinematic, less of me talking and more exciting storytelling. So yeah, here's my 3T Ultra. Cheers. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Out. The bike itself, I am running, it's a 3T Explorer Ultra with a Hunt 25 gravel race wheel set. And I've got 160 rotors on here, so plenty of braking capacity. Schwalbe G1 RS, which I used last year and have basically used since the tire came out. It's a wonderful tire for me. It's everything I need. Fast rolling in the middle and then knobs on the side for corners. I've got a 45 in the front and a 40 in the rear. Aside from the tires and the wheels, I'm running a SRAM mullet build. So I've got a 10 to 52 cassette in the back and a 38 front chainring, which, by the way, I will tell you, so many people had bad gearing. And as somebody told me, there was very like crunchy on their knees. And it's like, yeah, you should have had better gearing. So anyway, if you had bad gearing, I feel bad for your knees. I'm sorry. But I had great gearing. And I also have the Kogel Colossus oversized pulley wheels on the back, which make for maximal gains in an ultra. They say it's minimal, but it's maximal when you're doing a long distance and many hours. And I'm riding just Shimano SPD pedals. And let's see, I've got a Fizik Vento Argo 140 millimeter saddle. Surprisingly, most people don't believe this, but my front handlebars are a size 36 centimeter. I have very narrow shoulders. So for me, I really like to be nice and tight and snappy when I'm racing and when I'm riding. So narrow handlebars. And yeah, also I'll show you on the other side. She got a little dirty. I crashed. So you can't quite tell, but yeah, I slid on this side here, and there's definitely some more new scratches on here. And my body also has scratches. It's fine though, it's bike racing. But yeah, this is my bike. Here's that spare light that I was talking about. It's like cemented onto my frame. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more exciting Badlands content. Cheers.